entertainment. I loved anything entertainment. But I had not envisaged, as I said in that interview, I had wanted to be a lecturer at the university because my uncles were lecturers. I was telling them that Professor Dum Kwapong is from my house. He was vice chancellor of the. He's my uncle. He was a lecturer. Professor Kofi Asare Opoku is my uncle. He's a lecturer. When I was growing up, I was looking up to these people, and I wanted to be like them. You know? But the entertainment took over. Entertainment took over, and I'm happy entertainment took over because I love entertainment.
That's right.
Kwame, I love what I do.
But I don't say all here. I think the video is on YouTube, it's on social media, Joy 99.7 FM pages. Yes, that interview with Lexus Bill. Uncle Ken, Grandpa Ken.
Oh, yes. Add that. Add more. Ken. No, even go further. Kwame,
yes.
Let me just say a big thank you to Joy FM.
Yes.
For the surprise they gave me on Thursday. You know.
It was awesome.
It was awesome. I didn't know Philip Nye could be that devious. You know.
Philip Nye.
Yes. But he happened to exceed my expectations of him. And now I know how to take him. I would always be suspicious of his moves from now on. But it was a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful location, you know, and I thank them so much for the fun we had that evening. You know, and most grateful. I love Joy FM.
You do, yes.
The family joy is something I have loved, you know, ever since I came here. And it's never crossed my mind to leave this place. I would always be here until they push me out.
Drag you out.
Drag you out.
Yeah.
Interesting. Kwame Rasta.
Yes, sir.
So Uncle Ken celebrated his birthday on Wednesday.
No, on Sunday.
It was Sunday.
On Sunday.
But you sent me a message. You were the first Joy FM person to actually wish me a happy birthday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Kwame, but you know why Kwame Dadzie was the first person? Because that other mischievous character near Itego went and posted on Facebook, and I think that's where Kwame got his. And quickly sent me a WhatsApp.
Yeah, and then he left us out.
Yeah, and he left all of you out.
Yes, no problem.
Kwame Rasta,
bro.
Charlie, Uncle Ken, you know how far God has brought him. What do you have to say to him?
We can only be grateful that we sit every weekend this close to greatness.
Yeah.
And for some of us, for me, the bit about him that he was raised in Ikropon Equiapem, from a very famous home, one of the few homes that has brought or churned out a lot of illustrious boys and girls, like he's mentioned, the Professor Kwapons, the Opokus, and there's one huge artist who is pre-independence Gold Coast era, who actually comes from that same home.
Okay.
That home has been a home of interest to me because of my leanings with history and culture and religion. And that's the Reverend Opoku, one of the few trained by the Basel missionaries, so one of the biggest composers belonging to the Presbyterian Church of Ghana. So for him to be a descendant of the Reverend Opoku, and me knowing him, you know, so and then when you listen to Uncle Ken here, when we are doing our back and forth, and how well exposed he's been in England, even here. I mean, his father also was a radio presenter. Yes.
Wow.
Yes, one of the first radio presenters from GBC. Yeah, so the fruit didn't fall far from the tree.
No, not at all.
Yes. So for me, I can only be grateful that I call on him. In fact, on Sunday, I called him on just a casual call because we didn't meet here on Saturday. And then it was not until at the tail end of our conversation that he reminded me and gave me my charge sheet. That yo, today is actually my birthday. And I'm like, oh Lord, why did I even call him? Because like, how is it that we've had a conversation for almost like 40 minutes, and I'm sure he also thought that I knew it was his birthday. That's why I was calling.
Yeah.
But so I felt so bad, considering how we've grown in bond and family here. And then I started looking out for people like Philip Nye and the rest, because you see, I didn't want to be the only culprit. So I confirmed that indeed everybody had missed it. And then I started breathing properly, because 70 is not a joke. We don't know how far our journeys would go. And you are close to this Uncle Ken who lets it in his space around the clock, and you forget. So he reminded me of the promises we made last year on his 69th birthday. And then Uncle Ken, he was rubbing it in slowly. And then I was so looking for you guys, that's when he said that, as for Kwame Dadzie, he had sent the text. I was like, damn, okay, cool. Then who else? Nobody else. Good. We are a lot. So just when I was feeling good, and then he said that hopefully we'll meet today.
Yeah.
So I was like, then for me, it was an opportunity to
bring some cash.
To also come and pay respect in the open, so that because especially in these times, you can only be envious of somebody like Uncle Ken. So 70 is huge and long. And again, God bless you, sir.
Thank you.
And live long and stronger for us, because the access you grant us is too expensive. Yes. So I have a poem.
Oh wow!
Yes, I just authored a poem.
Interesting.
In your honor, sir, and with your permission, I would want to share with listeners a bit of your greatness. So Kwame,
let's go.
If you wouldn't mind,
let's hear you.
The poem is titled "Oh, Go With You."
Wait.
Yes.
Okay.
Kwame,
yes.
Why do you title a poem that seems to celebrate somebody like
Kwame.
this? Oh, go where you.
You see, if you've paid attention to Uncle Ken, you should know that "Oh, Go With You" is one of his favorite slang terms that he employs, especially on this show. Yes.
Okay.
So
okay, I get you now.
Yes.
I get you now.
Yes. It's all about.
Okay, so now let's listen to the poem now.
Oh, go with you. A life riven with jazz, high life, and a couple of sounds, stewed on radio frequencies, and the currency pounds. His great ancestor was a Basel missionary trained hymnist. Any wonder why the revered Opoku is his favorite psalmist? But I would let you in on a story about how I know him so well that I am not sorry. Once a policeman asked what I do, and I responded that I teach fools respect in a college reserved for any vile creep. But of course, he had no clue. Aside an inkling that his disrespect was grating the tiny dignities I hoped for when lulled into sleep. My demeanor quite clearly was a cue for this reptile to crawl away and not inspect my pouch like I had stashed ganja in there and deep. It looked like a familiar long night to rue another misery I am meant to dissect for sport and eventually weep. But hey, my dreads are not hollow nor stitched with glue. But him corroded by the law, disrespect. And so tonight I toss him on piled filth and leap. Hey, Kwame, oh, go with you. That's what he would have flung at me via text. This is how Ni Ade of them days has said me so well to reap. This is not his kind of poetry, but I have the distinction of the effrontery and honor to employ "Oh, go with you" as my offertory. Uncle Ken, on his 7th decade glows, and this piece is only congratulatory.
Woo, 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 woo. Kwame, oh, go with you.
Oh, go with you.
that was awesome. Fantastic.
Kwame.
Wow. Yes, listeners, we have also joining us Robert Clark, PRO of Charterhouse, organizers of Vodafone Ghana Music Awards. He's here with us this afternoon. Uncle Ken.
Kwame's got
what's a poem?
Tearing.
Oh.
Go
where you.
And you know, last week, if you remember last week, we were discussing a topic about.
Was it last 2 weeks?
No, last week.
Just
last
2 weeks. 2 weeks, yeah.
Or was it last 2
last
weeks?
2 weeks.
Last 2 weeks,
Yes.
we were discussing a topic about the influences of foreign music.
Yeah.
And I said that I was trying to defend the shows that I do on Joy to mean that they were just specialist programs, so once a week, and so it was refreshing. And Kwame, as I was talking, cut in and said, but it is foreign music.
Music, yeah.
And my retort was, go with you. Last week.
Just last week, yeah.
2 weeks.
Yes,
I remember.
Yes, 2 weeks
Yes.
ago. Yes.
So I think that's what stuck in his mind.
I have actually chopped a lot of
Go with you
here, you know, so
Wow.
Nice one, Kwame. Thank you very much.
We thank
Yeah.
God for your life. We thank God for your life, Uncle Ken. We thank God for your life. And you've been good to some of us, you know, even far away from Koforidua, you know.
Yes.
You were always
I've told your
critiquing,
story before.
reading my articles,
Yes.
you know, following up, correcting mistakes here and
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
You're the man.
he's
You're
the
the
man.
man. You're the man.
I love you guys. You know,
We love you too.
I
We love
love
you too.
you guys
We
very,
love you
very
too,
much.
sir.
It's you guys who keep me young in mind.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dealing with you guys, especially on this show, and especially on this show, and the guys who post on Facebook that I follow, Arnold, them, you know, all those folks, you know, whose shows I listen to, kind of, they keep me well informed and with the times, and I love them. I love you guys.
God
Kudos.
bless
All
you,
right.
sir. God bless you,
All
sir.
right. So we're still right here on Joy 99.7 FM. This is Showbiz A to Z. My name is Kwame Dadzie, and we are having a discussion this afternoon. Let me say that we have Robert Clark right here. Robert Clark is the PRO for Charterhouse, organizers of Vodafone Ghana Music Awards. Yes, he is here with us this afternoon. Let me say hi to him. Robert,
Hello, Kwame.
how you doing?
I'm tired.
You'll be tired. You will be tired.
You just re-echoed what Kwame Rasta was just saying.
I said mine in Ghana, so it hits harder, you know. Watoboa.
Charlie.
How has your routine been like today?
Relaxation.
Today?
Yeah. So from this particular moment, it's going to be back-to-back work, all the way through till another rest.
So are we ready for next week?
Oh yeah, in principle, things are being being put in place. So certainly, yes, we are more or less ready for next week. We are ready. We are getting ready, and eventually, we should have an amazing show with the will of God in the space.
Okay, we'll talk more about the VGMAs later. But yes, we are here to talk about awards in general. Yes, award schemes in general. So we've seen so many award schemes in this country, you know, from the days of ECRAG Award to ACRAG Award. It was ECRAG first, Entertainment Critics and Reviewers Association of Ghana Award. Then they turned entertainment to arts critics, so it became ACRAG later. Then later on, we had the Vodafone Ghana Music Award, the then Ghana Music Awards. We had so many award schemes. After that, we've had Ghana Movie Awards. We've had the Exclusive Men of the Year Africa Awards, Emmy Awards. We've had the Foresight Music Video Awards, RTP Awards, Ghana DJ Awards, the National Gospel Music Awards, Golden Movie Awards. We have Ghana Movie Awards and Golden Movie Awards. We've had 3 Music Awards, Glitz Style Awards, Ghana Music Awards USA, Ghana Music Awards UK, Ghana Music Awards Europe, Ghana Music Awards Dubai, and the list goes on. We've had Comedy and Poetry Awards. We've had Ghana Modeling and Fashion Awards. Then we have Regional Award Scheme for Music, Eastern Music Awards, Western Music Awards, Central Music Awards. That was the first one that started. We have Volta Music Awards, Northern Music Awards, a lot of them. We've had Ghana Tourism Awards. We have the Dance Awards, Ghana. And the list goes on. A very tall list. Very, very tall list. There are a lot of them. Folkless Awards, RTP Awards. RTP Awards, Radio and Television Personality Awards. And uncountable award schemes. But we are asking, how relevant have all these award schemes been to the industry? Can we say on authority that we've benefited from all these award schemes? Yes, so that is the discussion we're having this afternoon right here on Joy 99.7 FM Showbiz A to Z. My name is Kwame Dadzie. You can send in a message right now on 055 1111997, 055 1111997 as we start the discussion in earnest. Let me start from you, Uncle Ken. You have seen the aircraft days coming to VGMAs, to all these award schemes. Do you think that they've really impacted the industry?
That's a very tricky question. Because maybe when they were in operation, they did. In a certain way. I mean, at least they gave some exposure to the industry while they were being organized. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah. When the Aircraft Awards was on.
Okay, so you're talking about the Aircraft Awards.
No,
Aircraft.
those, I mean, you asked me.
In general.
In general.
Yeah, so
whether,
from your experience, the
yes,
ones you witnessed.
Exactly.
Okay.
And I'm saying that maybe while they were in operation.
Good.
They actually did influence,
Yeah. At that point in time.
Yeah. But then we need to ask what the true objective of those organizers were. Because it's unfortunate that most of the ones you mentioned from the past are no more in existence. Those awards are no more in existence. So,
especially the Akrag Award.
Akrag. I mean, I remember winning a couple of awards on 2 consecutive years.
Oh, wow.
With Jazz on Joy as specialist music award.
Wow, from Akrag Award?
Not from Akrag. It was an organization, the Radio and TV Awards or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
On one of the occasions, I was out of town, so Doreen went to receive the award on my behalf.
Which year was this?
I can't remember.
You can't remember. Okay.
90s, early 90s,
All right.
thereabout, or 80s, thereabout. And all those awards are no more.
The schemes
All the schemes,
those schemes.
you never get to hear of after a while. That's where my worry is. Because then if you ask whether those awards have been of benefit to... I come back to my earlier response. Maybe while they were being organized,
okay,
they gave a certain kind of benefit to the recipients. But after that, what happened? When I saw this topic, the first thing that came to mind was for me to say that, oh, yeah, good. A lot of respect will be put on the VGMAs. for being in existence for this length of time. Because, as I've just said, all these other ones that I remember from the past are no more.
Yeah.
What happened to them, I don't know. I can't tell you what happened to them, but I'm saying that for one particular award system to survive all these years till now, I sit back and I say kudos. Because from the experience of those that have fallen by the wayside, I say to myself, these guys must be doing something right to be able to sustain this venture for that length of time. I know, Kwame, you don't see, yeah, because it's that simple.
Yeah.
You can't, there's no other way you can look at it other than just to say they must be doing certain things right to be able to be where they are after so many years. It's easy. When you go to the UK, there are soap awards, you know, and they've been running consistently for so many years because they do not have any bankrupt rival award system coming in to disturb them. Do you understand what I'm saying? So the soap awards or the BAFTA awards and all these awards are established in these areas because they are done by the professionals within the system.
Okay.
Over here, we get anybody wanting to make some money and saying, let me organize an award system. So you're here and every day you hear of a different one. Awarding this person, awarding that person, awarding, and you realize that most people who had won awards over the period, after a while, get fed up with some of the systems and even refuse to partake in these systems. This is the problem we have. So, Kwame, while they last, they might benefit the recipients.
Great.
But after that, I don't know.
Uncle Ken, Grandpa Ken, thank you very much for your submission. Kwame Rasta, do you think these award schemes have been beneficial?
Yes, very beneficial, very, and I mean that's not to disregard their very cosmetic nature. Personally, that's my appraisal of award schemes.
Okay.
They are not rewards. Awards are different from rewards. So, in as much as it is cosmetic,
so
in
who
nature,
benefits? You
the
said very
recipient-
beneficial.
Yes. The recipients, and if we had the benefit of going to a shrine or putting a lie detector in front of the recipients and for them to tell us how they managed to be awarded, a lot of books and movies will come out of it. And those who have been disappointed because they felt entitled and deserving of an award have been too close to some of these nominees in the auditorium, sitting too close, right next to, and how they managed to slither out of the auditorium back into wherever they came from with that expectation and now disappointment. You don't want to see them. You don't want to. That's huge. Again, it doesn't make it any less cosmetic, because as an artist, if you create for purposes of an award, then you've just missed the point. You do your art and your satisfaction ends where it started, upon completion of the body of art. Now, most often than not, and again I get it, the fact that it is cosmetic doesn't make it irrelevant. It matters. You could cite the Bob Marleys and a few other dead legends, even what's his name, Harry Belafonte, bless his soul, who just passed. They didn't win a lot of Grammys, but these are names that you cannot sidestep when you want to tell a musical story, transgenerational story from art.
Yeah.
So for me, it matters when Beyonce is being put on the pedestal that she deserves. It comes with the awards that she has won.
Yeah.
When Jay-Z or Kanye or when Wizkid, when Stonebwoy, in fact, when all these are, but again, there are huge names. I mean, Nana Pedu just passed recently, right? But he's been alive forever, more than the 20-something that Charterhouse, for instance, has been in existence. And the farthest and most relevant way to award him for work done in the past is the oldies category, the one that the
Lifetime achievement.
lifetime. But how often and on how many occasions can you do that to him for work done back in the day? The point is, the fact that he might have been awarded once or twice doesn't make him a lesser legend or art person or writer. His perch in the history of West African music, high life especially, is indelible. He is peerless. He's way right up there. But then again, in the absence of awards, does it make him a lesser man? I don't think so. I think that his reward is in the work that has withstood generations and will live on forever. The E.T. Mensons, the Ramblers, the CK Mans and whatnot, they did work, got rewarded for it through various means, did not have awards for it. Like when you compare somebody like CK Man to Bisakede or any of our young high life artists, they probably have more plaques than CK Man.
Yeah.
But when we are talking on a more serious or a more pertinent level, we cannot compare their body of arts or works together. No.
Maybe also because there were not a lot of award schemes then when they were in the prime of their career.
But at that point, at that time, during that era, and now, what is most relevant is putting in the work. Whatever the music is that fetches the reward, that is non-negotiable. But awards are, luckily for us, people who have little or no talent but are well endowed in commerce or administration, and so this institute companies and rightly so take advantage of people in a certain specialized labor area, i.e. art. They are coming from the other side. They look at these people and go like, oh, okay, that's how far you can go, right? Okay, then let me put all of you together and give you some stones or brooms or plaques or whatever it is for an award, and let me use your fans to let me knock them together, and they will even pay for it. Yes, that's a smart way. And then it is legal. It is not even a sin. We put them in an auditorium with some more functioning air conditioning. Now we have improved. We have the new place that Charterhouse owns.
The Grand Arena.
The Grand Arena. I love the place. Even the last time that I was there, we were fighting. You understand? So, you see, it is nothing on them. It is all on the musicians and their stickler to being awarded the kind of monies that they urge their fans to donate so that they get awarded. But then again, it is not criminal.
Kwame, you allow him
so you think,
rant on and on and on.
Kwame, so you think it's a commercial venture?
You think say Charterhouse collapse like we know here? It is one of the foremost event organizing companies in West Africa, if not Africa, and they've worked hard. Look at the quality of persons they have trained through their various events and then they have moved on. Fredakon, what's his name? Bulldog, George Quay. A lot of big names have gone under Chris. Do you understand? So, and they've now their main flagship program event is Ghana Music Awards. And if Mr. Clark would admit or would let us in on, it is their most expensive, but it is the least rewarding. Okay. And let me wrap up. At least rewarding in terms of cash, but they, through that vessel, they have concessions to organize private and other corporate events which are more rewarding. Do you understand?
Right.
So it makes up for that sacrifice. They using musicians to give the musicians what they want, give it all to them, and then when the Monday after the event, you go and work with Stanchart or Vodafone or beauty pageants and make more money and pay workers and train more people. So again, in as much as what they do is primarily taking advantage of specialized labor, i.e. musicians, there's nothing wrong with it. We actually get this, we've had 20-year plus opportunity to harness lots of good people who have also moved on with that experience, and they are bringing the positives to bear on the landscape. So the musicians should carry on expecting awards. They should fight and do whatever it will take for them to be awarded. But for me, if you're a proper artist, you don't do art for awards.
All right, Kwame Rasta is a poet and an artist manager. Joy 99.7 FM, Showbiz A to Z. My name is Kwame Dadzie. We run from now till 6 p.m. Yes, now let's go straight to the phone lines. To Zoom, we have Kojo Sobo, who is the executive director of Emmy Africa. Let's speak to him right now. Good afternoon, sir.
Hey, good afternoon, Bossman.
Yes, sir. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Fantastic. Now, today we are taking a look at how award schemes that we have in this country are impacting the entertainment industry. Now, let me ask you, as the boss of Emmy Awards, let me ask, do you think that the purpose for which you created this award scheme has been achieved?
All right. So before I answer that question, I would like to greet all the bosses in the studio. I salute all of them. And I'd also like to congratulate Charterhouse on the 20 years, over 20 years in organizing the Ghana Music Awards. It's not an easy job to build a brand for that long, considering the challenges that we all face in the industry. So I'd like to congratulate them for the great works that they are doing. So yes, I've been listening in on the conversation, and I believe that most of the things that have been said so far are true. For us, or for me, I believe that an award scheme should have a very strong and a very firm foundation. Structure should be properly and intentionally built so that the scheme can stand the test of time. I also believe that for a scheme on award organization to be able to have the moral rights to give people awards or to celebrate people, they themselves must be excellent. And that is what most of the time we lack in some of our award schemes. Their schemes are not excellent, in themselves to be able to have the right to also, celebrate or honor people for excellence. If you get what I mean. And for us at EMY Africa Awards, I think that we are doing our best. And in the last 8 years, we have grown bigger and better every year. And, our hallmark is excellence. And our tagline is, inspiring greatness. And we believe that for us to inspire greatness, it's not just about the people that we honor, which we go through a lot of rigorous processes to select and to honor. But our organization and our outlook and our look and feel should also, support what we stand for as an award scheme. And over the years, it's been great to, keep going, from strength to strength. And it's in it shows in the quality of people that we honor. Because the people that we celebrate are people who are very well exposed, people who travel widely, and for them to keep coming, for them to keep honoring our invitation, for them to keep accepting our award, shows that we are doing something great and we're on the right path. And I'd like to thank everyone who's been on this journey with us. It's not been an easy journey. 8 years has been a lot of sacrifice, but thank God we are here. And so yeah, I think that we are on the right path, and we are inspiring greatness one award at a time. And I mean, last year was our 7th. This year is our 8th. Last year we honored the topmost award, which is the Man of the Year, went to Ibrahim Mahama. And this is a great man who we hear a lot about, but we hardly see. And for him to accept to take the award and come, and he's also gracing the cover of our magazine that we just released. And a lot of people ask me, how do you get these people? How do you get them to accept your award and even be present to receive it and be excited about it? And I tell them it's all about excellence and the testimony that others who have received before them give about the event. So when you have the opportunity, some of these people, you don't have the second chance to impress them. So once you get the opportunity, you impress them, and then they recommend you to their friends, and and then you keep going. I remember when I went to I don't tell this story much, but when we went to Ibrahim to inform him that he's been selected by the faculty for the Man of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
He asked me, so he asked a lot of questions. Who are the people who have received the award before? Who are the people who are on your board? Who are and me? I told him, and I told him that before Dr. Ernesto Sapon, Sam Jonah was our board chairman, and now currently Dr. Sapon is our board chairman. He said, "Oh, Sam is my good friend." Then he picked up his phone and called Sam Jonah in front of me and asked Sam, "Oh, Sam, there's a young guy here who's from EMI Africa who wants to honor me for Man of the Year." To be honest, I was scared. I was scared because I've not done well, or I've not voted myself. But people have their own impressions of people. As far as I was concerned, I have been very respectful, and I have related very well with him. But I didn't know what he was going to say. So when Ibrahim asked him, he said, "Oh, Dema, you're very good award scheme. I mean, I was the board chairman for the last 5 years, and the guys have done tremendously well. Congratulations." And I was like, oh my God, that was like, I felt so good that somebody, a very respected man like Sam Jonah, has so much regard for, an award scheme that a young man like myself and my team, have worked hard to build for the last 7 years. So I tell people that whatever you find yourself doing, do it well. Whatever brand that you start building, do it well. Get the right people. I mean, I don't work alone. When we started, I got the likes of Mr. Mike Amonkwafo, who is still on my board. I sold my idea to him. He was part of my team that we spent a whole year thinking through, the idea and building a brand manual. So we understand what we are doing. We understand the ethos of the brand, who we are, who our target audience are, our colors, everything, like everything to the T.
Great
is understood.
Mm-hmm.
So it helps you in your execution. So I think that so far we've done great.
Thank you.
I'd like to thank all the people of support, including Joy FM, the multimedia group who have always stood with us in delivering excellent events.
Okay, we'll come back to you to talk about what constitutes a board and what parameters you use in selecting your board members. But let me ask you this general question. You have been in this industry for some time now. How would you assess the performance of award schemes in general in this industry?
I think that we have some really, really good award schemes, and then we also have people who think that it's a money-making venture, so they just come in and just do anything and just get away with it. So for me, I think that there should be an institution that will vet award schemes, and then they would not just give anybody the certificate or the permission to just do awards, because what are you awarded, and what position are you in to be able to say this person is the best in this or the best in that? There should be some regulation, because the influx of awards is just getting too much. But there are some great awards: the Ghana Music Awards, the Film Music Awards, the Glitz Awards, the Emmy Awards. These are awards that you can say they're doing well. They are it's very well represented, and people respect. But then I believe that there should be some regulation, so that we can that space has to be checked.
Kojo, let me ask you this question. So most people think that, just as you said earlier on, a lot of these award schemes are for commercial gains, and so they use some voting codes, vote how many times for one artist and all that.
Right.
How do you do yours? Do you also use the voting system for your award scheme?
Okay, so we don't do that. We don't do voting. So our board and faculty met several times on this issue.
In 10 miles,
and
take exit 21.
We realized that doing that was a disadvantage for some people, because you nominate 4 people for an award, and then people are going to vote for the award, and the award is paid for. What if the person who actually deserves the award does not have people who can vote for him, or does not have the amount of money that it would be adequate for them to get the award? So we don't do that. But I believe that it also depends on where the award scheme is coming from. For instance, if the award scheme is being sponsored by a telecommunication company, it is a prerequisite that it's part of the contract, or it's part of the terms of agreement for the sponsorship. So that cannot be ruled out. But if you are not sponsored by a telecommunications company, I believe that if you can, it is something that we should be able to do away with, so that there's a level playing field for everyone who's nominated. So for us, it's you vote on the website, and then there's it's 50% on the website, 50% board and faculty votes. So that's what we do. But it all depends on where you're coming from, what sponsorship packages and stuff that you have.
All right. Thank you, Kojo. Please stay on. We'll get back to you later on in the discussion. Joy 99.7 FM, Showbiz A to Z. My brother, Chief Moomin, is also right here. Chief.
Yes, senior.
Where the Salah meets then the
this Salah is not the one that meat is shared amongst all and sundry.
No, says who?
Even the meat wasn't enough for those of us who did the Ramadan. But the bigger one is the one that is coming.
Every day the bigger one will come.
Yes.
Thank you. Welcome back.
Thank you very much.
Yes. So let's talk about this important subject. Let me come to you, Kwame. No, Kwame Rasta came to you first. Let me come to Robert. Robert Clark. So you are the PRO for Charterhouse, organizers of the Vodafone Ghana Music Awards. Do you think that your mandate that you set out to embark on has been achieved? Have you achieved the purpose for which you were set up?
Well, thank you, Kwame. The focus is to celebrate artists, to celebrate excellence in the year under review, and we every year offers us an opportunity to be able to do that. So to say that we have achieved it, once the year goes past, it's another opportunity to get it done. So then you have an opportunity to do it again. So every year we have an opportunity to relive that which is our mandate, more or less. And so that's what we work with and work in. And we keep looking at the mandates over and over again to see if there's a need for it to be tweaked. And then once we get feedback to be able to help adjust, we follow that. So essentially, that's what we do.
But I know, yes, so I'm sure you have an assessment, a procedure to actually measure how you're faring so far.
Yes, you do that, and there are multiple ways by which we do this. Stakeholder analysis is one of the key things. And when you say stakeholder, I'm referring to all the people that we actually impact and also impact us. Right, so we're talking about the nominees and all the the artists that we actually engage. We are talking about partners. We are talking about sponsors. We are talking about the general public. We are talking about those who hold the scheme, actually. So from board to academy, all of them are members of this particular space. And so when you put these together, these are the folks that we're engaging with, and we try to, at the end of it, if for us to have a balanced scorecard, it's about ensuring that from all these fronts, we have been able to achieve, our targets with each one of them. So that's the essential thing we do, and that's how we get our feedback from all of these angles to be able to help us evaluate and know exactly whether we are faring well or not. There are other things as well. When an award scheme is grown, you have to decide what you want to do at a particular age. So after 20 years, one of the key things we are focused on now is impact. And impact is therefore, so by virtue of the fact that we are interested in impact, one of the offshoot activities we are doing is VGMA in schools, which is to be able to use the VGMA platform to contribute to the pipeline, as in young people who are looking to enter into the music space. But obviously, because we don't have a music business school in this country, most of them don't have the knowledge about what to do, what not to do. So you go back to these schools and engage them with artists, and then use that platform to explain to them what it means to be in show business, the make believe components, what to accept, what not to accept, how not to allow it to mess you up, the relevance of education in showbiz, even if you want to do music, how you need to come back to contracts, and so you cannot skip school, because at the end of the day, education still plays a role. All of these things, and then they have opportunity to be able to speak to these artists, and these artists explain to them how they actually attain the success that they have. So these are offshoots. So for example, again, we are talking about the unsung, which is another category we use and be able to project and promote people who may are fighting to be, or looking for an opportunity to be able to break the barrier and then enter into mainstream music. And these activities, by extension, are designed to be able to impact the industry. And the fact that you have stuff like these master classes, and you have these summits where you are engaging industry stakeholders to be able to talk about what is pertinent when it comes to music business, where the music industry is heading to, and what they need to know, how things are changing. All of these conversations are all about impact. And an award scheme, like us over the years, these are some of the things that we take pride in, knowing that at the end of the day we are able to give off some extra benefits, apart from the fact that you are rewarding or you're providing an award plaque to somebody on a particular day. You understand? So those are some of the things that are on our table.
I mentioned a number of award schemes in this country, a number of them. And as somebody who has been in this industry for some time now, let me ask you this question. On a scale of 0 to 10, if you're to make a general assessment of the impact of these award schemes on the arts industry, where will you place the mark?
It's a very tough question you're asking me, because you see, I like to be fair in my assessments, and you can. It's a bit difficult for you to just say that an award scheme has not been impactful, because then the question is, what are your metrics for saying what you said? But I want to look at 5 key things and clearly say that these are, for example, areas you can use to evaluate whether an award scheme has been impactful or not. And I'll be a little bit biased, because I'll use VGMA to be as a case study to be able to articulate my views. So if you are organizing an award scheme, immediately the immediate and direct beneficiary is the person who is receiving the award. So nominees or award winners. These clearly are being recognized. So there are so many musicians in Ghana, a particular category, only 6. We are saying that you matter in terms of the year under review. That basically projects you and puts you out there. So it's like having a CV. It's like sort of contributes to your CV, immediately. And that particular recognition.
Robert, did you get injured?
Well,
I just saw your hair. It is red.
Yeah, it is red because I'm on brand for VGMA.
Oh, okay. But hasn't it been like
Robert, please continue.
Yeah, so
I see.
So those who receive it's basically recognition. And Kwame Rasta initially mentioned that it is cosmetic. I think I'd rather want to use the word intangible reward. The same light, but I just,
for you to paint your hair red, you can feel free.
Yeah, that's fine. So basically, those who receive it, it's like a pat on your back. You've done you've done well. you've done you've put in so much work in a particular year. Obviously, a scheme recognizes you, and that's good for you. Something also clearly goes onto your CV that says you've done extremely well. Those who are looking for international gigs, opportunities out there, immediately once you can make reference to these things, certain doors open. And then again, there have been several cases where people tell us that as after they receive award, they are able to charge higher rates. So that basically improves your value, or increases your value with respect to making business. And we know clearly how. In fact, I was reviewing Dana Hamilton's the impact of her win, and then on one of the sessions that we had, and then she clearly mentioned that she could attest to the fact that her streaming numbers had increased from 7 million to 10 million as of the time we were speaking then. And then the number of people that were now checking it out, people who were now curious about her music and wanted to listen to her and all of that. So clearly you can see that translating into some financial benefits. But let's move away from the artist and the nominee, so to say. Let's enter into other areas. Again, I'm still talking about the impact. When you organize an event, it's like a huge factory, and you're dealing with a lot of people. So what does it mean when you organize the award show itself? We are talking about the creative arts. It's an opportunity for art to be expressed. What do I mean? The person who did the copyright for the radio commercial, the people who sat on radio to have conversations about the scheme, the artisans who came into the place and put in the set design, those who used lights, those who the fashion statement on the red carpet, the hotels that were booked, security, everything you can think about when it comes to an event. In that particular space, you see the expression of art, and then you see economic value moving from one party to the other, and that's huge. And I say this economic value. See, for example, we just came from organizing the VGMA. Hotels were booked, food bought, place, like the amount of economic activity that happened in that particular space is huge, and it goes on and on and on. And this is not just those days we used to organize nominees jam and then celebrations jam, going to a region and carrying the excitement. That's huge investment. But then again, it also instigates, or let's just say evokes, a lot of economic activity within the space. So the benefit of an award scheme is not just that somebody received an award. No, the person who even designed the plaque, you understand, that person made money. And these activities are interesting. We need to be able to look at them exactly for what they are. And actually the list can go on and on.
Okay,
so we just need to be able to look at it from all these angles.
We come back to you, Chief Moomin.
Yes, my brother.
So day in, day out, we see a new award scheme being launched. Sometimes you are there, there's somebody will send you an artwork already. You've been nominated in these awards. Post this flyer for us and ask your people to vote for you. Do you think we should be worried that we're having too many award schemes in the system?
Well, like Alton, so I remember when I was back in secondary school, Tiamedia Secondary School in Kumasi, almost 15 years ago. Quite some, 15 years.
I thought you said 15.
Hey, but I mean, 15 is quite, when you think about it, I've realized that there's been some years under my belt, I mean, that was just the time that check was becoming very popular, fried rice, check on the street. At a point in time, there was a preponderance.
Go where you.
Of check sellers, right? It became like everywhere. There was quality and there was quantity. In fact, there was even a place in Amas, around that town. So I forget what the Asqua runabout was. So there was one called check, one check called quality, another called quantity. The quality was smaller but nice. The quantity was less nicer but more.
Plenty.
Fast forward night is Indomie. Now everywhere you go there. So the point I'm trying to make is that, I mean, it's just a fact of life. When something appears interesting, a lot of people will jump onto it. There was a point in time where everyone was doing an award because maybe there was some craze that awards, was the new way to make money. But after a while, the real grains is separated from the chaff. Consistency is the name of the game. So I am not particularly worried about, the fact that there are a lot of award schemes, in the country. What I am concerned, for me, what I'm even more concerned about is probably the mindset of people who are chasing awards, because we are now in a generation where people are looking for instant validation. People, this whole idea of fake it till you make it, present yourself in all sort of ways. right? Of late, there's been something going around there. If you go to LinkedIn and you read people's CVs, it's as if you are not doing anything. So there's this whole idea of packaging in our generation that I think that it should be of concern to us. Are people more interested in the work, more interested in substance, or they are interested in the superficial and interested in the hype? For me, that is of more concern about the whole mindset of award scheme. Like as he said, I mean, I get awards messages all the time. I personally, do not engage in such things. I hardly, when I'm nominated for awards, I hardly engage. Maybe unless it's a very prestigious award, which I haven't been nominated for. Maybe that will change. But my understanding is that at this point in my life, I haven't achieved anywhere close to what I want to achieve to even merit some of these things. So when I get an application that says, apply for this award and let people vote for it, an award where you have to campaign, something that's supposed to be married that you have to campaign for, sometimes I'm a bit weird. I understand that in popular art forms like music, and all of those things, where sometimes some of these things are subjective. Yeah, people may want to put out, requests for people to vote for, but fundamentally, the problem for our generation is packaging. So packaging will mean that I have to win this award. So as many opportunities as people can avail themselves to, they will avail themselves to. But going forward, we realize that there are some prestigious awards that are emerging, those who have stood the test of time. And that's the only way you can really say that this award is prestigious. Because at the end of the day, every award started as somebody's idea, right? It's not a state something that put charged Emmy to come into being, or Ghana Music Award. These were all private initiatives, so we cannot prevent anyone from starting any private initiative calling it an award scheme. The only thing that would distinguish something that we should give credibility to and give respect to is how they organize themselves, how seemingly fair they look, who are those who are associated with it over time. Just like, over time, when they build their repertoire, their credibility, then people will distinguish them from the rest. So yes, I'm not particularly alarmed, because I know that a lot of them will fall off, some of them will survive, and some people would give much more respect to than others, like the Ghana Music Awards. Even though it is one of the most criticized, sometimes one of the most trashed award in our part of the world, it is still the most prestigious when it comes to music. Every musician would like to win a Ghana Music Awards, contrary to what some of them would say. Obviously, as Kwame said, which is very important when it comes to the arts, if your focus is working for awards, you've lost the ball. That's why when it comes to these whole Grammy awards, and I think that I always say that there's just an unnecessary sensationalism with Grammy. Everyone wants to win a Grammy. It's become like one of, I'm sure it's something that will grow out of, right? It's not the talk of, I want to win a Grammy. Count on that. They're growing out of this Grammy obsession.
That's more or less the most prestigious award scheme in the world.
And don't get me wrong, as I've always said, it's good for us to aspire for some of our people to, but it shouldn't become the reason why we are producing art. It shouldn't become the reason why some guy in La Paz is entering the studio because he wants to win a Grammy. Every time I look on social media and someone is good, the next thing, hey, this guy, he's the one who's going to bring out a Grammy. It's like it's become the holy grail for us. My point is that people should produce art for the sake of the quality, for the sake of the love of it, for the sake of entertaining, educating, immersing people in different experiences. But we shouldn't become overly obsessed about winning awards. Yes, we all want to win awards. We all want those plaques or whatever to hang in our rooms and pass down, as totems to our generations. I mean, Rasta would like to pass down something. I mean, apart from his plantations, I hope there's more that he can pass down to his progeny, right? So my point is that, yes, we shouldn't make it the reason why we produce art. Obviously, if your art is good enough, obviously, if you are strategically branded in one way or the other, you attract those award schemes. So,
good.
In conclusion, yes, a lot of them will come.
Kwame, I just want to quickly say something.
You. Okay.
I just want to quickly say something.
Yeah.
It's funny whenever we discuss these things about people going for award, you realize that it's not really the artists or the people in that particular space who are doing the talking. It's other people talking for them, and then we are advising them based on what other people are saying. I don't know if you are getting me. It's like the musicians have not told you that this is why they are doing this and that. The comments and complaints are coming from the fans, and then we advise the musicians based on what the fans are saying, and then we sort of like make that the mainstay of the conversation. But I think that,
are you talking about the Grammy thing too?
Yeah, I'm talking about the Grammy thing. So, for example, you see, if somebody says I'm looking for a Grammy, there's a particular standard that a Grammy has that you are willing to subject your works to get the nod. And if that is what is excellent, or because you see, excellence at every point in time can change, because it is just a standard.
It's relative.
It's relative. And so if that is what is excellence to a certain extent, and the person is aspiring to get that, and they want to be able to get that in their career before they are off, really there's nothing wrong. No, I'm coming. I'm coming. So all I'm saying is that let's leave that to the person who is fighting for it, because it's like saying you're fighting
so you're saying that
for PhD.
An obsession with Grammys is fine.
No, but leave that for the artists to have that as their obsession,
No,
because
we're
they have
not
the
saying
right.
that people
No,
shouldn't
you have the right to it. All I'm saying is that
But
we
when
keep
it becomes like
advising.
an industry
I'm saying that
standard.
we keep
right.
advising people, the artists who are in this space, based
I
on
don't think this
reactions from
advises
the
to
fan base.
to the
Okay,
artists
thank you
alone.
very much.
Maybe it is also to the fan base.
Let's move away
Maybe
from
we also
Grammy
tell the
Awards.
fans not to make this
Let's move away from Grammy Awards.
No, Kwame, you can't move
about
on.
Grammy necessarily, it's about
You
awards
can't,
generally. Right?
Kwame,
Awards in Ghana,
you can't
generally,
move
I'm more
away.
interested in people
Awards in
obsessed
Ghana.
with
You can't move away.
Yeah. Kwame,
So let's focus. Let's focus on
Kwame.
the Ghana Movie Awards.
Yes.
Uncle
the
Ken
Golden
70
Movie
deserves to
Awards.
interject.
You see this chief guy.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Hello, Uncle Ken.
Chief, I agree with
Yes,
you.
yes.
I agree with you.
Yes. Grandpa.
Did I hear a statement just made that excellence is relative?
Yes.
Is it not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So can we not determine excellence from a certain stage?
Based on our own parameters or
Yeah.
If you say
Standard.
excellence is relative, as far as it might be, but as far as I am concerned, when I hear a statement of that nature, excellence is relative, I get scared. Because then I say to myself, anything can be excellent.
Isn't it? Subjective.
Oh, please. How can anything be
has
excellent?
that not been the case in our
Philippine, are you excellent?
If he says yes,
Exactly. I
the
mean,
national security won't come after him because he has his
no,
own meter of
Kwame,
judging his
Kwame,
excellence.
please. I'm just saying that I find it very strange to hear that excellence is relative.
Yes.
So,
I think
so
that
for example,
after a certain stage, we
It's
should all
universally
agree,
accepted
yes, that this is excellent.
please, what is excellence?
based
Yes.
on what we're using
I'm
to
asking,
define
what
excellence.
is excellence?
I
then?
don't know.
Okay.
Because you see,
Okay.
for example, when I'm engaging,
Please
one last thing though.
Okay, one last
when
thing.
you're engaging with people, you are doing business with them, and then you ask them, like you're organizing an event. One of the key things we always ask is, what does success mean to you? And then they tell us, okay, so I'll consider this project successful if I'm able to get 500 people attending the event, if I'm able to sell whatever, if I'm able to, they'll give you their parameters. And at the end of the day, you have your 4 key points, and you're like, okay, guys, we deliver on this, and these guys will come back to us wanting to do more business with us. And then we deliver on the 4, and we add 2 more, and I say, I exceeded excellence. So please, we have to do more business. And then, so all I'm saying is,
All right.
I agree.
and that's what
Okay.
I agree.
Okay.
The final thing I will say about it, Kwame, I beg,
Your last excellent comment for this one.
Please give me the last excellent
For this
comment.
round.
Give me the last excellent comment.
Please.
Dr. Kwame.
Chief.
Yes.
If what we are saying
Yes.
that excellent
Yes.
is relative, then I say to myself, all teachers who have marked our exams over the years and have given us excellent or below excellent have been subjective.
Uncle
working
Ken,
with the
Ken,
marking scheme.
they used
They had a marking scheme.
please.
They had a marking
They had a
scheme.
marking scheme.
in case you are going to rent a building and you see that the foundation, the construction is poorly done,
Yeah.
but the contractor tell, oh no, I mean this is excellent
Yeah.
according to my standard. You can
You'll
take
be
the
able
risk.
to challenge him.
Yeah, yeah. So of course,
Because
there
there
are
are
some
different marking
benchmarks
schemes.
with excellence.
Munyai,
and all agree.
okay. Munyai.
Yeah, the subjective one.
Okay, you guys are off. Joy 99.7 FM, Showbiz A to Z. We're still here talking about the impact of award schemes on the arts industry right here in Ghana. Doc Kwesi Ernest is CEO of Media Excel. So he's right here, and also he's also part of Ghana Music Awards UK.
I'm the head of production.
The head of production for Ghana Music Awards UK, and the other one too, the
US,
USA.
the US, I'm the board chairman.
So both of them, Ghana Music Awards UK.
And then the US one, I happen to be the former board chairman.
Wow. So Kwesi Ernest is right here. Now let me ask you your initial comments on this. Do you think that as an industry, we've benefited from award schemes.
Yes, very well. We've benefited a lot from award schemes because you see, it got to a time there should be a standard set for the growth of our industry, and so award schemes also became part of the standardization by which we can determine who is doing what and who is doing what and who is what. There was a particular standard that was set by the introduction of awards into. Artists themselves got themselves into speed with promotion, creativity, and what have you. The artists themselves subbed themselves into some level of competitiveness, and which also became part and factor for the growth of our industry. And I keep saying that an industry that is not worth dying for is not an industry. So, for that matter, we should be able to position the industry to its competitive level where people can actually be able to fight for something. Okay. Because on a regular day, all of us, everybody is making submission or contribution. But if we can be able to have a judge who is sitting at the reception, marking who is doing the best presentation, I'm sure that people's thoughts and opinions will have actually, some will change to a larger extent.
Okay.
People, and that, well, subjective is underlined. But like I'm saying, people's opinions and thoughts will change because once you know that whatever I'm doing, once Kwame doesn't know that whatever I'm doing here, there's an institution, there's a body out there which is looking at what I'm doing, which is marking, and at the end of the year, some form of award scheme will happen, and I can be eligible to be shortlisted.
Yeah,
it gives you some sense of high spirits. It gives you some sense of awakening to be able to improve upon whatever you are doing, so that it doesn't just become like the world is just there naturally, and then you wake up, you eat, when you finish, you die. Award schemes have become very competitive in our global space. In fact, it is. And most of our artists have gotten international, some journalists' salaries have even been increased as a result of awards they've won.
Oh, wow.
Some even presenters have been poached with good poaching allowances because of some awards they got somewhere.
Awards.
Yes, you go to radio stations and some display their awards in front on their desk, behind their console, as if it's like.
And are these awards a true representation of their performance, their output?
The representation is to your own observation. It's subjective to you, but the person, you see, and that's one of the things we have to understand in this town. If anybody who wins awards says is the best, the person who doesn't win says is subjective. So I think one of these, what we need to do is to allow all those who are saying is subjective also win, so that we will see how
they will approach
their conversation. Then those who won will now come to the subjective aspect, so that we can because we can have a balanced society. It's time for us to balance society, because that's what I'm seeing. That an artist who won last year and didn't win this year say that he's been robbed. He or she has been robbed. The same artist, the same year, when he's been nominated into all the categories, goes around and say, so these are things that gradually goes deeper to tell you that our award schemes, though we have some funny ones also underground there, but then our topmost awards, they've really lived up to expectation. Great. And it's important for us to commend their efforts. It's for us to praise and then render a proper appraisal to whatever they are doing, to make sure that we grow from that perspective, to make sure that our industry is on a higher pedestal of growth and development that is seeking to bring in proper investment to whatever we are doing.
Because one big problem of award schemes, most of them, is the fact that they use a voting system that sort of monetizes the whole award scheme. So you send in a vote maybe 10 times, 100 times to a particular artist, whether an actor, a musician, whatever, in the various award schemes, and then some amount of money is taken out of your credit. So I'm asking, don't you think that the monetization of the voting system is a problem and may not even help us get the true winners of these award schemes?
Okay, so when COVID-19 came, I'm told that the vaccine that was developed for human to cure us, they actually have to use some serum from the COVID this thing itself, make or something to be able to come up with a vaccine. From the animal itself. Yeah, for the animal itself. They use the serum from the animal to be able to develop the vaccine to make sure that we get a vaccine for survival. From which animal? From any animal that
no,
you know. That
you make a point. You make a point.
So I'm saying that I've been one person who has over the years tested the fan base of our musicians. Permit me, I've been one person who have challenged, and that sometimes I see an artist who claims to have 1 million followers on Facebook, 1 million followers on Instagram, and that same person posts a song, and he cannot get 10,000 people, 10,000 of those 1 million followers to even go and download that song. Have you thought of that? That an artist who claims to have 2 million followers on Instagram posts a song and cannot get 100,000 people out of his 2 million to go and download the song at $1 to get $100,000 in his pocket, fresh cash.
Please help me understand. How do we link it to this?
I'm linking this to this one to say that it is always important to be able to test the fan base of our machinery. That yes, we are looking for the artist of the year. 10 people have been shortlisted and they are competing for the overall artist of the year. We put a short course there. There's nothing wrong in putting out there. There's nothing wrong in those artists who have always been sitting on this where I'm sitting platform, claiming their fan base as strong and everything, to actually vote in competition to be able to determine.
Not just the voting.
Not just the voting.
But when you need to pay while voting, when you vote, you pay.
Of course, because
means that if you have a lot of money, you can get people.
Because
our to vote for
award scheme organizers don't own a platform.
So, Kwesi, I may not have a lot of followers, but if I have a lot of money, I can get a lot of votes.
It's also subjective.
How is that?
It's also subjective because it is not everybody. It is not everybody who has money and have actually voted has also won the awards in the night of the day. So it's subjective. 5 people are contesting. They're coming VGMA. If you look at all the people who are voting there, it's only one person who is going to win, which is P.S. Esther, who will win the overall artist of the year. It's only P.S. Esther that will win on the night on 6 May. All the others will receive a handshake. Does it mean that
Robert is smiling?
Does it mean that the rest did not? Does it mean that the rest did not vote? They voted. But so that is just by the way. So I'm saying that there's me personally, if you ask me, yes, maybe on the monetary aspect, you may have your observations about it and personal thought about it. It could be wrong, it could be right. But personally, I don't see anything wrong for fan base of the artist or the nation or whatsoever to actually vote in selecting their popular song of the year or artist of the year. It makes the game beautiful and it adds more meat to it.
Okay, I'll come back to speak to you on the same question. I'll come and ask you the same question. But let me go on the lines right now and speak to Claudia Lumor, who is the founder of Glitz Africa Style Awards. Let's speak to her. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. Yourself?
Very well to hear. And let me ask you, how is your award scheme faring so far?
Well, I'll say thank you for calling me, and to your listeners, good afternoon. So Great Africa, we have the Ghana Women of the Year, which is actually coming up end of June, and then we do have the Great Style Awards. I believe it's doing very well. For me, I look at the impact it's making, both in when it comes to women in leadership. For the Ghana Women of the Honors, because we just don't do the honors. We have a leadership and female CEOs summit that we do. And then we do have the She Summit, which is a mentorship program we run around across different regions. So the essence of the award scheme for over the years, I've seen a lot of women being mentored. A lot of CEOs through the platform have been able to mentor and serve as internship for a lot of young women. So for the last 7 years, for me as a founder, is the impact of the essence of what we're doing and what we're achieving in telling great stories of women that are not the social media people, but they're really making great impact in different corners. It's what really touches my soul and why I get up every day to keep pushing. And for Style Awards, it's done amazingly well because it's really projected our fashion industry to a global audience. And for me, that really, it's not just for the fashion industry, but it also pushes the creative industry outside Ghana as well.
Claudia, one big problem of the industry is how we select winners from the various award schemes. So let me ask you, how do you choose your winners?
Okay, so for Ghana Women of the Year, I think I shared that with you. I am not a huge fan of competitive awards, to be honest with you, because for us, for instance, our board, when we started this or when I started this with our board, it was very clear for me for Women of the Year that is their story and tell their story to young women to look at these stories and be inspired by them. They are not the popular people. They are not the people on social media. Some of them don't even have a social media platform. So it's more about people nominating and telling us their story, why somebody is making an impact in the area they are, whether it's in science, whether it's in agri, leadership, all of that. We want to hear the stories. And based on the stories, our board select 10 women, 15 to be honored on the night. And so I've stuck with that because I'm not really into competitive who wins what and who loses what. For me, on our platform, everybody is a winner. It's more about telling stories, documenting inspirational stories that people can be inspired by. Is what I am passionate about. Style Awards, we have honors as well, and then we do have, because the fashion is more digital based. For Style Awards, we are able to bring the competitive side to it and get young people excited because it's free to much more younger crowd and they live on social media. So we do have competitive sides where people can nominate and vote because we do have like influencer of the year, most stylish, all of these, which are social media based ones. So those ones are, but for Women of the Year, it's very clear what we're doing with that brand, and it's not competitive.
So how then do you fund your award scheme? Because for most people, they get their money from the voting system.
Yeah, I mean, we have partners, and we do, we have corporate brands that have stuck with us from day one. It is tough, it is hard, but I believe as a founder, sometimes, for me, I mean, I want to put my soul into something that I believe in, and for me, that platform makes sense to me as an honest, because of the stories I want us to tell, and because of we're searching for stories that are untold, and those ones are not on social media. So I don't know how people can vote on things like that. And for that reason, I'm very selective of which brands we partner with. It's got to be brands that understand the essence of what we're doing, and it's not just any other brand. But we talk with brands that also understand the essence of that for young people. The essence of young people identifying and knowing that there are women who have done this and faced challenges, and they all grew up in Ghana. And that's the story I am passionate to tell as a storyteller and as a founder. So far it hasn't done so bad. So I for that sense, for both, I'm very happy with it. For commercial basis, I'm happy with it, and for the essence and what it's done to what we're trying to do as well, achieving that has been very successful.
What have been your major challenges so far?
I think partnership has been because if the people that sit on the money or the people that are the partners, if they can't get the vision, you can preach and talk from morning to evening for weeks, and they won't get it. So I think for me, once I know the people won't get it, I move on to people that I think will get what we're trying to do. So that has been the challenge, and I am a tough negotiator on things like that because I don't settle especially for me, it's impact over everything. So if you don't get it, you don't get it. And that has been a challenge for me, I would say as a founder and as everybody that is in this industry, is something that we face, really getting people to understand what you're trying to do with it and where you're going with it. But aside that, I think it's been great. I'm very humbled by the team that works on this. I'm very humbled by the corporate companies that understand this, where this award scheme is positioned, and they get it and they support us, and we're able to do what we've done in the last 7 years.
Thank you very much, Claudia Lumo, founder of Glitz Africa, organizers of Glitz Style Awards. Thanks so much for your time this afternoon right here on Joy 99.7 FM. Now, let's go. Let me come into the studio now. Okay, so before we went to Claudia, I was talking about monetization of the voting system. Let me start with you, Kwame Rasta. Do you think it is something that prevents us from getting the true winners in the various award schemes?
The monetization.
Yes, of the voting system. So that you, Kwame, you want to vote for Uncle Ken, so you send in a short code, they deduct, let's say, 10 cities from that. If you want to vote 10 times 10. Does it give it the true winners of the award schemes, of the various categories in the award schemes?
I believe it does, because you see, there's a clear path well described in the Holy Bible that if you want to go to heaven, you toe that path. Okay.
Which path?
Those who would go, they know. With regards to VGMAs,
but what is wrong with what you said?
There's nothing wrong.
So
It's just funny. You continue.
Okay. You see, I am pardoned in Jesus' name.
You can actually be pardoned to go to heaven too as well.
My brother. So, with regards to whatever the award scheme is.
Sorry. What do you mean by he can be pardoned? So you mean he's not going to heaven?
No.
So like as a day head guy, he's not going to, and because of his statement,
My chances doesn't look good already. Don't make it worse. Let's move on. Brad, this
okay.
matter.
Kwame, please continue.
So, what I'm trying to say is, whatever the award scheme is, there are persons behind the scenes who are supposed to know better. They insist, or they tell deserving nominees the route they can use to be crowned winners in whatever categories they find themselves, and they are supposed to reach out to their fans or supporters to subscribe to the same instructions that, listen, this is how you can crown me the winner of this category. Now, if you think somebody is making money off your sweat, which is actually true, you can pull out. You can tell the organizers that, guys, you guys are using my popularity or fame or art to make money. That is my suspicion or my belief. But then again, I also don't see what I stand to gain from using me as an opportunity to make money to go and pay your picking them as school fees. So I don't want to have anything to do with you. Now, if you sit down quietly, comport yourself with all the Christian upbringing or Muslim upbringing, and then they use you to raise money, you might as well consider yourself complicit in whatever is happening. If it's a money churning mechanism, you are equally guilty. In other words, you do not have any cause to complain that you are being used to make money for, let's use Chatterhouse for instance. If Chatterhouse is organizing VGMs, whatever subscribers or texters or voters suffer by way of money deductions. If Chatterhouse are supposed to take all the money home and pay their bills, use some to paint their hair, there's nothing wrong with it. It is because you, the nominee, you were rich, you were sought after. And in fact, back in the day, I've been around for a while, so there were back in the day, Chatterhouse, you'll be there and then you just be nominated. But we took up arms against them, and then now they would prompt you, ask whether you are even interested before, just to reduce the nonsense. Now, in other words, if your fans are being deducted any monies or are suffering any losses, to an extent or by extension, you have agreed that the MO being employed to select the nominee or the winner is something that you are comfortable with. So you do not have, you and your fans, in fact, that conversation should be, we should dead it. It makes us look, it exposes us as a very dull and low-minded people to be fixated on the money element, because it is not cheap for Chatterhouse to have been surviving 20 years plus. We've had a lot of clowns come and waste our time, and then they fled.
It's not only about the VGMs.
Yes. So you see, again, the bit. Okay. Free.
Please. Do you think that if that system of popularity votes is not utilized by the award companies, would they be able to make enough money to carry on with the awards?
You see, there ought to be discipline and some bit of science employed to ultimately crown a deserving winner. Now, it cannot be an exact science, because then again, at what cost and what is the modus operandi which would best allay any concerns or fears of favoritism and whatnot. So
that should be industry based. If it is industry based,
yes,
and winners are selected based on the technical abilities of the participants, then that should cure what we are talking about. But then would it make the company organizing the awards solvent money wise?
Lose money?
You see, again, it behoves the organizing company to insist or to employ whatever means they deem fit to make them stay afloat and alive. So once they are a company with employees and bills to settle, it is up to them. It's, even with funerals, we incur a lot of costs. Now, let alone pre-man for our day, music awards, everybody, even people go and buy clothes and shoes on credit just to look good and for the occasion. It is coming at your cost. You that you are even a partner to the event, the night. People do a lot of things, and so why not the organizer making money off you? There's no crime here. I don't see it as anything wrong. If they are not making any money, then they are not wise at all.
But Kwame, will this not affect the industry in a way? Because you want to use a system that chooses the true winners, the real winners. But here lies the situation whereby the person who is winning is winning because maybe they have more money to sponsor people to vote for them.
Yeah, artists have even come out to tell you that they've paid monies for their fans
to
vote for them to win.
Is that a true win?
Yeah. Yes, because at the end of the day, somebody has won based on their financial clout. Now, that's why in my earlier submission I said that primarily if you create art for an award for purposes of being awarded, then you don't understand your talent. Dr. Akwesiane sitting here looking at me in the brown shoe. He has worked very hard to get. Listen, the prophecy he laid bare earlier on that what's his name? Her name, Madam Esther, was going to. Yes, was going to win. Listen, next 2 weeks. You will see PCS that way, that what you go shock. You see this man where they sit there. He has worked very hard for lots of gospel musicians to win awards. And it is not prayer. I am telling you, the man sitting down there, he spends a lot of sweat, blood, and especially money. So if you are poor, you not go win anything. You'd only win something by mistake.
The favor of the law.
All right.
Kwame,
yes,
it is serious business.
Okay.
And if Mr. Robert sitting right next to me has painted his hair red, you think it is a joke?
Kwame, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Robert Clark, I'm not asking you this question because you are with VGMA and you also charge, something small for votes. But do you think that particular system helps to get the true winners?
Let me ask you, who is a true winner? That's the question I need to start, because you see, again,
someone who deserves to win.
Who deserves to win? What do you use to evaluate who deserves to win? For example, and we need to understand the scheme sense, how schemes are organized and their purpose and how they run, the MOs. Grammys, for example, it has nothing to do with popularity. They evaluate they evaluate the works that are presented to them. 11,000 plus academy members who make a decision, and then somebody wins. But guess what? To make an entry submission, you pay $65.
Yeah.
You pay $65, and that is for the first 3 weeks. If you are late, when you get into the next after the first 3 weeks, you pay an extra $25 on it, so it pushes you to extra 35, so pushes you to $95.
But Robert, what's $65 to those?
No, I'm coming.
musicians?
And then thereafter, you have in your last week, it's $125.
What's that to them?
No, so all I'm trying to say is that there's a certain amount of money that even goes at the point of submission. You get what I'm saying? Now, that system itself is held by the Recording Academy and these members, because it's a membership thing. So again, it is their level of membership and how they run their stuff. When you go to American Music Awards, the conversation is different.
Exactly.
Because they now focus on voting. So they use a particular metrics to determine who deserves to be nominated, which is basically based on the Billboard format, and then they now get the audience to be able to vote. And then voting is done on,
Is it a monetized voting system?
Okay, so again, the monetization of the scheme is in 2 ways. If you are sponsoring, for example, and then you have, like, let's say a TikTok being a partner, and you're using a TikTok platform, that level of engagement that happens on TikTok or happens on Twitter to be able to vote gives value to whoever is the partner. And so at the end of the day, there's some value that comes in there. Now, you may not see, unless you refuse to see that if you go online, you have used data and therefore that is money. At the end of the day, that data money, it matters to another organization. You use your data to vote and somebody else is making money. So let's not say that there is no money spent if you are not, if you don't do SMS. Even if you go online and vote, somebody makes money, and that is data translated to cash. So there's a certain amount of money spent. I think what we should be discussing is what we think is okay and what is not okay. But for as long as
what is okay and what is not okay?
Yes,
I'm asking you.
Which I don't have an answer to. But what I'm saying is this: for as long as everything is business. And business is the reason why there's continuity. We need to understand that this whole thing that we are doing is about what? Business.
Great, Uncle Ken. Is it okay for the award schemes to charge before? Should he come in? Okay.
Before Robert, and you agree with me on this one, that out of about 34 categories being shortlisted,
it's not even
the ones that are allowed public voting.
They are the ones that have this input.
Just about 10.
Yeah, so
but
in
they are
that
the
case,
ones that generate more excitement.
That's what I'm saying. That so it tells you. It tells you that the organizers' fate of organizing the awards is not entirely based on monetary or monetization.
Okay.
Because if it was so,
Okay.
Then
All the
I could have
categories.
just put all the 64
Okay.
categories out there, so that because I want to make more money. But this one, if you look at the category that have been shortlisted for voting, they're not even up to 20, and then the rest are all industry-based voting. So
This is VGMA.
Yeah,
There are other award schemes that also use the voting
and so
system.
I want us to situate the thing that
what he's saying
monetize-
is that
I
yes,
get him, but-
even though you have the public voting, and so therefore there's a certain amount of money expended, it's not coming from all
But
the
I'm
categories.
saying
So
that
that is
we
not the
all
sole
agree.
aim.
This is,
we all agree.
This
the
is
scheme.
with the VGMAs, but there are other award
Yes.
schemes that use maybe a total.
Yeah.
Okay.
We all agree.
Voting system
We
for
all
that.
agree to that, Kwame. You are
Yes.
right.
Yes.
That's the point. You know, I look at the VGMAs and I don't like to have negativity associated with the VGMAs. I really don't.
Okay.
Because what they have been able to do from inception till now has been unmatched.
Okay.
Let everybody accept that.
Okay, please. Do you remember? Sorry. Do you remember the time that the era that you'd have to buy the mirror graphic Showbiz, and then you fill in your favorites, cut the piece and post it,
And it serves as your vote.
Yeah.
So we've
We've
come
been through all that.
You know,
Yes. Who was making the money?
We've been through all that.
that one there was
No, at that point, who was making the money?
that one the Kwame said
At that point, it's okay. It's okay. Joy 99.7 FM. Uncle Ken, please make your point.
At that point, maybe the newspapers were making the money.
That's it.
Yeah.
So, by all means.
Yes. And because they were sponsors.
Yeah.
a musician
Because they were
sent
sponsors.
me to Orion.
Uncle Ken, please make your point.
A musician
Kwame.
sent me to Orion at dawn to go and buy newspapers.
Yeah.
When we
Okay.
went there, it was finished.
Okay. Thank you.
Kwame,
Uncle Ken, let's
Kwame,
hear you. Yeah.
So the point I'm trying to make is when VGMAs are brought into the conversation of awards, and particularly in Ghana, as you didn't want us to stray abroad, you tried to rein us into.
Oh, you can make your
Ghana,
examples. You can make
yes.
your examples.
So I do not like the VGMAs being subjected to a lot of criticism because what they've been able to achieve has been unmatched, like I've just said, you know, and we have to recognize that. I worry about a lot of the awards that try to piggyback on the VGMAs, right? Look, how many awards have we not heard named or themed Ghana Music Awards this country, France, Ghana Music Awards USA, Ghana Music Awards London, Ghana Music Awards France, Europe, now it's Europe, and you even have people duplicating the award system or the award system itself. Two organizations vying for the same entity. I'm sure you have heard that there are two entities
Yes, I've
vying for
I'm
Ghana Music Awards
I'm
Europe.
reliably informed, Uncle.
Ghana Music Awards Europe.
I'm on the ground
And
with
they
that
both-
one.
Sorry, there are two. So we have Ghana Music Awards Europe, like two of them.
Two companies.
Two award schemes, different award
So
schemes
one
with the same name.
One being organized by Osa, who is the main organizer. She
I
did
don't
the
even know
first.
the organizers.
She did the first and the first one, and is about to do the second one. And then the other one too, which was also
Being
I'm told
fronted by Prince
being fronted
Mackay.
by Prince Mackay, who is Ghanaian
The
based.
same.
Yeah, Prince
the
Prince
same
Mackay, who is a Ghanaian based and going to organize Europe Awards, is also registered his own. You know, subject to various understandings.
And they both launched
So, and they both launched it successfully, and they are both hoping to
the two events.
organize successfully.
And I asked myself, Kwame, the point I want to make is I've said to myself, I've sat down when I've heard about all these Ghana Music Awards. Now that is what I am talking about. Ghana Music Awards is what is used, and then the country of origin is placed, or jurisdiction is placed beside it. So Ghana Music Awards USA, Ghana Music Awards London, Ghana Music Awards Europe, Ghana Music Awards France. And I said to myself, so the Ghana Music Awards people who brought this thing up in Ghana, they don't have sense and have never thought of extending their tentacles to London, France, USA, like all these others are piggybacking on them for. I ask myself this question and I say, I don't know why, but then I've thought about it and I've said to myself, if there was real good money to be made from it, Angawabe.
Well,
do you see the point I'm trying to make?
Okay.
If there was real good money, Robert them will have jumped on it long time, but they have just kept themselves to the motherland and held their awards in the motherland. So me, I see these awards as avenues for money making by a lot of the entities who bring them about. Because otherwise, Charterhouse should have leveraged on the whole world.
Uncle Ken,
Yes.
Uncle Ken, let me.
I'll come to you.
I wish I would have 1 minute to.
Yeah, please.
No, I'll come to you because
let him say.
I have a question for him.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. So you wait. We'll come to that point. But let me go to Chief Mumin.
Oh, I thought you said you had a question for me. No.
No, for him. So I'll come back to him later. Later, Chief Mumin. Yeah. So let me hear you on the voting.
Yes, but then I'll just take it from where Uncle
Okay.
Ken left.
All right.
I mean, first of all, I'm not sure that I mean, for example, if it was called like a Charterhouse Music Awards, which is proprietary, the name Charterhouse is proprietary, then it will be inappropriate or illegal for anyone to go and do a Charterhouse Music Awards UK. But Ghana is an entity that we all claim.
Chief, that's not my main point.
Yes.
It's not the Ghana Music Awards that is used.
The idea of the
idea
replicating it across board.
Yes. I mean, I'm sure even there's been some all sort of award schemes that have come and gone, even out of Ghana, right? So I get your idea. I mean, if people want to do Ghana Music Awards UK, it's not really about the money sometimes as much as it's also about, in a sense, influence. Peddling in a way, because the whole idea of getting these stars together, because a lot of these organizations who are organizing the awards, you look at it again, they organize other entertainment shows. Probably they are the ones organizing some pack show, Ghana this, Ghana that. So it's almost like an ecosystem. So getting these celebrities to come, bringing them, being close to them, leveraging their influence in a way, they may not be making money necessarily directly from the award itself, but the kind of networks they are building, the platforms may have other, incidentals. Like even Kwame said that Charterhouse may not make enough money from the award itself, but just by being the brand behind it and people see what they can execute, it will definitely open up more opportunities. So maybe that could be it. But I mean, the question then becomes, I've not looked into those award schemes outside the country. I don't know what their criteria, who they are awarding and all of that. But at the end of the day, if it gets our artists to travel, to explore, to be paid something, or at least to perform and extend their brands, why not? When it comes to the issue of pay, I think that we have to look at what is at stake, or what's the scheme, about. When it comes to a popular award, right, there's always a mechanism. When an award is termed as popular, it means that a lot more people can have a say. If a lot more people can have a say, you wouldn't go to the Electoral Commission and say, organize an election for people to come and vote. You give people the option. And with modern technology, it stands to reason that they are going to use whatever voting they are using. And let's not also forget that a lot of money is spent on these awards, right? So if there's a way for the scheme to able to recoup a bit of that money back, for the sponsor, because if Charterhouse is writing, I'm sorry we're using Charterhouse here because Ghana Music Awards is the biggest, awards, right? If Charterhouse is writing a proposal, why would Vodafone put X amount of money in this? Beyond the other benefit, Charterhouse will say, when we use Vodafone to do the voting, we feel that a lot more people vote, so the company will get revenue. So if the marketing people go to their board to justify why Vodafone should spend X amount of money, which will be significant, I hope, or I suppose, or I imagine, at least not insignificant in the scheme of things. I mean, they will have to justify why Vodafone has to give this much money for Ghana Music Awards. And one of the things that the managers will say is that, well, we're going to get at least some revenue, we're going to get brand awareness, we're going to get brand association here and there. So for me, I don't necessarily think that it's much of a big deal. What is also very important to notice that there's always for me, the point of entry. There's a point at which it is objective. We know that, okay, before the people are nominated, they must meet some criteria, right? You know, there's some objective criteria we can all mean to say that this is a criteria for good. You know, excellence. Music must sound this way. It must be this way. There are some things that we can all objectively agree. But then, after a certain level, it is subjective. If you put, you know, let's say 2 rappers, Manifest and another rapper, Sarkodie, there is no objective criteria to say that Sarkodie is a better rapper than Manifest, or Manifest is a better rapper than Sarkodie. What we can all agree is that they are all good rappers. But when it comes to who is better or who is best, this is where subjectivity comes in. So at that point where subjectivity comes in, we can only rely on what, in quotes, majority of the people say, in addition to what the professionals who have been put in place. So for me, what I am satisfied is if they are able to ensure that those who come through the door meet a particular standard of requirements, then we agree that, okay, all of these people deserve to be there. They deserve to be nominated. There are some points that we argue when, of course, for example, Artist of the Year. I mean, I personally think that this year it should be Black Sheriff, you know, because of blah, blah, blah. Someone may think differently.
It should be PCS.
Yes, you see. So at this point, there's no way we can objectively say that I objectively am right and he objectively is wrong.
Saying, right?
Yes, so there should be a mechanism to
So
at
we
least
know
to make it simpler and easier.
So that is when we agree.
We will agree on that point of subjectivity.
Okay.
Of course, there will be 1 or 2 examples where majority of people will say, "Oh, as for this one, yeah, we disagree." You will get those instances. So when it comes to, you know, people voting, so far as at the end of the day, the vote is not the only thing that determines your ability to win.
Fantastic.
So each and every artist is not out there saying, vote for me so that I be nominated, vote for me so that I win. So far as there are other control mechanisms in place to ensure that at least some degree of quality will be, will pass through the door.
But Chief, don't you think this one becomes a divisive voting pattern?
Yes.
Where Black Sheriff and PCS are concerned.
The only then solution is to make it an
going to go two-dimensional.
Yes, it will be. I mean, in every election there will always be.
The board, the academy.
Yes.
No, it's not even that. Once where the
because the government mentioned the controls. Let me just quickly add that is why we have the board. And then we have the academy.
The academy,
who are also supposed to cast their votes, you know, and they are also going to do that based on some few technicalities as well.
Exactly,
you know.
Exactly.
So then there is a balance, and if you, at the end of the day, if you have an upper hand in 2 blocks, you're likely to win, or you are doing fairly well in all 3 blocks, then it is yours.
Then
so it's not like you have to win just one category, you know, that kind of stuff. So
thank you guys. We've done music, we've done fashion. Let's do movies now. Showbiz A to Z on Joy 99.7 FM, and we're talking about awards in Ghana, award schemes in Ghana, and their impact on the art industry. Let's speak now to Mimi and Danny, who is the CEO of Golden Movie Awards. Good evening. Hello, Mimi.
Yes, good evening.
I hope you're good.
I'm good, by God's grace.
And I hope you've been following the discussion.
Yes, sort of, yeah. But you can just brief me a bit. But I've been off and on.
Okay. So basically, we're looking at how all these award schemes are impacting our industry. Now, let me ask you the first question, even before we go on. Do you think that Ghana or the Golden Movie Awards has really impacted the movie industry since its inception?
Pardon? Hello?
I'm asking if you think that your award scheme has really benefited the art industry or the movie industry.
Oh yes, the Golden Movie Awards came at a time that the other film awards were struggling. So it was like a bigger option for them, and the fact that it had an African appeal and also brought a lot of tourism to the country. When it's time for Golden Movie Awards, people from Uganda, Kenya, South Africa, Nigeria, Cote d'Ivoire are all here in Ghana. It kind of boosted the confidence of the actresses and actors as well, because at the time it came, we were struggling a bit with the film industry. So I think that it has contributed a lot to building a lot of confidence in the industry because, listen, we don't eat awards. Awards don't bring money like people say. Awards will not do anything for me like people say. But I always say that those are words that people say just to comfort themselves in the case of probably losing a category or not. But let's be honest, even God that created heaven and earth wants us to praise him for all the good things he's done for us. He actually created angels in heaven to sing and praise and worship him. So us human beings also need something to encourage what we are doing. So awards encourage people and it boosts their confidence as well. So yes, I think that Golden Movie Award has contributed its quota positively to the industry, and it has boosted a lot of confidence and also created a lot of jobs and also created a lot of networking, because bringing people from various countries on the continent, producers, directors, they get to meet the Ghanaian actors and directors as well, and collaboration could come up. So yes, I think that not just Golden Movie Awards, but then any award, sort of awards, kind of boost people's confidence, boost the industry, brings jobs, and also creates networking and connection within the industry.
Now, before I ask the next question, could you please move away from the mouthpiece, if you like, a bit further from that?
I should move away from
your mouthpiece. Just
all right. Okay.
So now let me ask you, now that you are adding other award schemes to your submission, what do you think in general award schemes in Ghana haven't done right?
Well, it depends. I don't know what award schemes are doing wrong, but if you would have anything against award schemes, I think that it will all boil down to finances, sponsorship. So if an award scheme is struggling or having certain challenges, it's because there is no cash available to do the right things. The issue about award scheme is that the whole, let's say, most of the companies only know one award to sponsor, and that is Ghana Music Awards. That is where they put their money in. So I think that probably Ghana Music Awards has no excuse because they get sponsorship. For the rest of us, nobody sponsors us. If you realize, Golden Movie Awards did not come on last year because we are gradually giving up. We contributed our quota for 7 years. Nobody is willing to bring in any support. What we get is support from individuals. And I give shout out, let me take this opportunity because they don't want me, but I mean for 7 years they've been supporting. Somebody like Father Dixon gives money out of his pocket to me personally just to support me. Oscar Doe of the limousine rental service also gives me money out of pocket to support me. These two people have been supporting me personally, but for companies it's one story and the other. All the time there is something to say. You didn't bring your sponsorship early. Now you start doing the sponsorship for 1 year. The excuse is that you've changed the direction of sponsorship this year. We are not sponsoring A, B, C, D. So if you have anything against awards, I personally think that it all boils back to cash, sponsorship. For instance, Golden Movie Awards did not come on last year. Somebody might sit somewhere and say, oh, there's no consistency. And they came, they thought they could do. They came, they thought they could do. We were investing our own money for 7 years. I'm telling you that our budget is almost about 600,000 to 800,000 Ghana every time we are doing the awards. Nobody knows how we get the awards done. Nobody knows how we flew all those other actresses from all those other countries to Ghana. Nobody knows how we do it. All they know is to criticize. But have you asked yourself, when you look at the award, do you even see one sponsor, one major sponsor? How do these people even come about this whole thing? So it's like we were doing something, hoping that we contributed our quota, and then companies will see that we've done well, and they will sponsor us. We did well. We did great shows, perfect production. We made sure we did the right thing to attract sponsorship. Still zero. There's just no support when it comes to our industry. Zero. So how do we go on? So basically, we have, as I stand here, I don't think I'm going to ever do Golden Movie Awards again, because I've invested for 7 years. My money is gone. No company is willing to sponsor me. So that's basically it. So you might have one problem or the other against award scheme, but you've not sat down to ask yourself certain questions. When you even go to the award scheme, what sponsor do you see there? So you ask yourself, how did they come about this whole thing?
Mimi, are you saying you're not going to do Golden Movie Awards again?
Pardon?
Are you saying you're not going to hold Golden Movie Awards again?
Come again.
Are you saying that you've stopped organizing Golden Movie Awards?
Yes. I didn't do last year. I don't think
and you
I'm
won't
doing
do
this
again?
Year. Pardon?
Okay, so let me ask you this question. Apart from corporate Ghana that isn't coming on board to sponsor you, how is the reception like from industry people?
1,000,000% support. 1,000 and billion support. I will not sit on this platform and lie against these actors directly. But they support Golden Movie Award with their hearts. Do you know how many messages and calls I get every day begging me not to give up? Do you know how many calls these actors will come in me? No, you can't do this to us. Our only hope is Golden Movie Awards. We beg you. You could have said you are begging me, but you don't know how I go about. Mimi, just try. Don't give up. Don't do this. They give me their thousands of... Listen, there's no event of Golden Movie Awards that these actors will not appear. You don't pay them. You don't give them money to dress up. They look good. They come and sit down to make sure that your show is good. That is support. Forget the awards they are taking. Some are not taking awards. Some are presenting awards. They don't get paid. Forget that you say, oh, they also need the award to show appearances. Golden Movie Awards is not the only event for them to show themselves. They can show themselves other places, but they decide to support you because they've seen the good work you are doing. They've seen how much the production is great. They've seen how their colleagues from different countries troop in for Golden Movie Awards and they support you. Look, they've supported me. Listen, Jackie Apia, Dadzie, all of them, I can't even mention all of them. They support, but I can't anymore. I can't be investing my money into an industry who doesn't even care about me. Nobody has even called Golden Movie Awards for anything. Government doing their things. We've never had any letter. Everything they do, we don't hear. It's always Ghana Music Awards. They don't count us. They don't even think about us. Meanwhile, we invest so much in the industry. Come on, who would continue such a thing? Yeah.
Uncle Ken says hi. He's right here. Uncle Ken Adi says hi. But
Uncle Ken can testify how we struggled the last one before we quit. He can testify. It is not easy. There is a jury. Ask him how we treat jury. We send them to outside of Accra to sit there and do the judgment for like 10 days. Aqua Safari constantly. Ask me, how do we fund that? The jury support, they don't even charge any money. They will just give them tokens just for transportation. When I say that there's a million support and not there, I cannot stand here and say they support us, Papa. From jury to artists to actors, they support. But our own government, our own companies here, multinational, who have the cash, don't mind us. So I would like to use this platform to say, I'm giving up. I'm not doing. It's our money. We can't keep doing this. Like 7 years. I'm tired. Nobody wants to support such a great cause. So yeah,
Mimi,
basically.
Mimi, I hope Corporate Ghana is listening to you, and all those that have the art at heart are listening to your plea submission this evening here on Joy 99.7 FM. We'll get back to you some other time to continue this discussion.
All right.
Thanks so much for your time. Yes. So Mimi Andani is the CEO of Golden Movie Awards, and she says that she's not doing it again. Wow. Wow. All right, so we're still here, Joy 99.7 FM. Showbiz A to Z. Show produced by Philip Nye, sponsored by MTN everywhere you go. And then the Superstar multi-food drink from Casa Preco Company Limited. Now, what plans do you have for 1st May, Monday? We are going to the Villandro residence. There is a big party there, a big show there. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna paint. There'll be card games, Ludo, Monopoly, Draft, or Worry, dancing competition. My favorite, Robert Clark. Please be there. Let me battle you. Proper dance together with Kwame Lexus Bill. There'll be musical chairs, battle flip challenge, charades, networking, and then the yo treasure hunt. It is a drive time family sip and paint with Lexus Bill. 1st May, Philandro residents, be part of this one. All you need to do is to pay 120 Ghana cedis and be part of it. Yes, we give you some drinks and finger foods. You get to enjoy all the activities. Please book your place right now ahead of time. The Momo number is 05930388842. 05930388842. Your Sunday night just got more exciting. It is the real deal, it is official, it is Cues and Lyrics, a music competition show that aims at unearthing music potentials in contestants while providing Joy Prime's cherished viewers the ultimate entertainment. So what the 12 budding musicians as the journey to stardom. Don't miss out on the experience every Sunday at 8:30 p.m. only on Joy Prime. Cues and Lyrics is produced by Joy Prime, powered by Hits FM. Cues and Lyrics, bring on the music. Joy Prime, the ultimate experience. Now, carrying multiple phones around can be such a chore. The unsightly bulge in your pockets, the extra weight in your purse, the stress of switching from one phone to the other to pick calls. But now imagine being able to switch between different numbers on the same phone easily and seamlessly. Guess what? You can go seamless with MTN eSIM and enjoy the convenience of connecting multiple phone numbers to one single phone or device. To check if your device is compatible, simply dial *#06#, and once you receive an EID number, it means your phone or device is compatible. Now simply download my MTN app today to request your MTN eSIM and enjoy the sweet, seamless life everywhere you go. Now let's go to church. So Pentecost Hour, a religious broadcast program sponsored by the Church of Pentecost, comes your way with the chairman of the Church of Pentecost, Apostle Eric Nyamiche, on Joy 99.7 FM at 1:30 p.m. every Sunday. Tune in every Sunday at 1:30 p.m. as Apostle Nyamiche brings you life transforming truth that nourishes the soul, ignites passion, and restores hope in the nation. The Church of Pentecost, we are possessing the nations for the Lord.
Kofi, Kwame, you know, I know, Ajwa knows. Even Brima said it yesterday that millions of Ghanaians are taking the COVID-19 vaccines, and they all say it is the right thing to do. It is safe, so take your ID and go to the nearest health facility
or any COVID-19 vaccination center
to get the jab. It will protect you from being knocked down by the disease or even going on admission. Protect yourself and protect your family. If you had the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, then you can go for the booster shot after your first dose. The vaccines are there. They are safe and they are free. Protect yourself. Protect your family. Protect your community. The COVID-19 vaccine reduces the severity of the disease and prevents hospitalization.
This message is brought to you by Ghana Health Service. Good life, live it well. USAID and partners.
The king is here. You keep the wheels turning. For your sake, roads spread like red carpets before us. You're the legend of whom many great stories are told. The custodian of our beloved engines, lubricants Munkoswahine, Shell Helix. 99 problems everywhere, but car performance isn't one. Because for ages, Nkoswahine Shell Helix has been keeping our engines in good shape. Come rain, come shine, we'll keep moving forward because Nkoswahine is with us. Presenting Shell Helix. Experience power, performance, and protection with Shell Helix engine oil and keep your car going. Shell Helix. Designed for ultimate engine performance.
The system has nothing on her. Those in power fear what she can do. She is Madame, and she is coming. On one hand, she's a humanitarian, and on the other, she's using them to seduce men in power for favors. Madame is a new drama series that explores the evils of an uncontrolled system where young women are exploited. Premiering Monday, 8th May at 8 p.m. on Aquaba Magic, DST channel 150 and Go TV channel 102. Stay connected on star 759#.
If home is where the heart is, then let's go home, shall we? Let's go where the entertainment is, where the passion is, where the laughter is, and sometimes even the tears too. Let's go where we feel safe enough to share our opinions.
And send tweets.
Where we do that embarrassing little dance to our favorite song. Let's go home where the love, the care, and the joy live.
There's no place like home. Connect your home to super fast internet with affordable data bundles from MTN Home. Visit broadband.mtn.com.gh or your My MTN app to sign up today. MTN.
There's going to come a time that the church will rise as the highest of all the mountains, and saviors will be raised in the church to deal with the world system. And let it be now. We need to have a national focus. We don't have to lose this ambition, or else we work against the Great Commission.
They are equipped in righteousness, the agenda to possess the nations. Welcome to an equipping center of the word and prayer on Pentecost Hour. Pentecost Hour comes to you on Joy 99.7 FM, 1:30 p.m. every Sunday.
99.7 FM. Come see Kwame Rasta singing along to this particular song. Yay! Kwame Rasta. Oh, so you listen to gospel, you sing gospel. Wow. Showbiz A to Z, and
you don't know.
You don't know, eh? Rastaman, listen to gospel music. All right. So we're talking about award schemes and their impact on the entertainment industry. Let me come to you, Kwesi Doc, and you are with Ghana Music Awards UK, head of production, right? And then Ghana Music Awards USA, you were former board chairman. All right. Now, this question is dear to the hearts of a lot of people. There are rumors, there's this perception out there that the award schemes outside the country, Ghana Music Award, this and that, what they do is when they are going, they take on other people who are not artists or who are not musicians or arts people, go with them so that they can take monies from them. Is it true that you people do that?
One exciting thing as part of our industry is that, see, when you are not directly involved with a particular organization of an award scheme, you have the freedom to speculate, possibly, and go viral with a lot of rascalities.
This word again. Okay. You say rascality again. The word is back. Please continue.
When you are not involved directly with some of these things that people do, you may have the freelance of speculating, and that's what I see most of the time. So sometimes when you see somebody driving his Benz and passing in front here, you see some people standing by the road say, "So, you know." And I have always been saying that if you know anywhere that people collect money go for medicine to make rich, why are you still in your bedroom poor? You go for it.
Maybe they don't want it.
No,
they don't want that means of getting the money.
There's nobody that doesn't need money. Kwame, I'm saying this for a fact, and that's why sometimes people can say that, oh, we are doing awards because of money. Yes, we are business people. And every human being that is on the face of this planet is supposed to be able to work hard with his intellect and be able to make revenue, to take care of his family, to take care of the industry, to create opportunity for people. Award scheme that we've organized, my involvement with Ghana Music for the last, this year's...
UK, you mean?
UK. This year's one happens to be the 7th edition. Has all been an opportunity of building a platform, external platform for our musicians. And through this, what we do, several artists and musicians here who their families or never dreamt of even seeing outside the shores of this country have had a privilege of performing to fans in UK. Some after that they do their own private businesses. Some media people and everything. And every year the number of people that from multimedia, from other radio stations, and through this award scheme that we do. Today, most of media people, they can pick their passport and pride themselves of travel experience with everything. I see them. Because our scheme is just even one day. You go to UK, they give you 6 months, and I go to the airport and you see them going
it's
holidays.
It's not true that you guys add some people.
We are not
extras.
We are not a travel agent.
Oh, okay.
Ghana Music Award UK is not a travel and tour organization.
Okay.
We are an award scheme organization, and our primary function is to organize an award scheme competent and sort of to be able to sustain the industry's growth.
Okay.
What we do additionally is to create also an enabling platform for Ghanaian businessmen who are seeking for an opportunity to sell their brands, their manufacturing productions to companies outside, to people in UK, from real estate to pharmaceuticals. We give them that enabling platform to be able to showcase their product every year by year. And that is what we've done from all the enterprise and people who have sponsored that. They've gotten as far as I know, the people that we take to UK to perform every year has to do with awards technical people like myself and people who work on the event. Musicians who are the reasons why we organize the awards. 2, media persons who are supposed to go and cover the event and come and showcase and sell to and then use it as content for their media stations. These are the people, and some instances, the ministries people and some corporate organized persons who, together with our sponsors, have to be there to sell their product.
Okay.
These are the chain of people that every year join us to be in London. And as well, sometimes the people who are also going to present awards, like we have Miko Sebeko, the industry people who are known, recognized, and whom we are sure, let's say you saw, suppose that Razarma was there, people who we are sure that when they go to present the awards, they will come back. This is what we do.
Some don't come back?
People, we are sure. Okay. I'm saying, and I use the word, we are sure that
have
because
you had a situation whereby somebody went and didn't come back?
Every human being you see has the tendency of going to heaven or hell. So you don't have to underrate any human being. And so so that one there, rest assured, every human being one sees goes outside there.
Okay.
Yes, I was in Amsterdam then when I was living in Amsterdam. A bishop was sent from Ghana to come and do conference in Europe. He came there, he saw the beautiful Amsterdam and decided not to come back. He relinquished his ministerial position. So, to the glory of God, for that matter. So, Kwame, I want to state this for a fact, that we are not a travel and tour organization.
Good.
If anybody wants to travel to United Kingdom to see greener pasture, the person can walk into any travel and tour office and then do the right thing and then get it. As far as I know, we are an award scheme organization, and that is where our limitations are.
So when you take along the artists, the media people, and all that, who ensures their safety and welfare? Who does that?
With their welfare, their safety, all of between the period of the awards organization, between the period that we take them, they are in our hands for their safety and everything, because the visa which is being issued by the home office is primarily on the ticket of Ghana Music Awards UK.
Okay.
The visa will be given to you on the premises of the invitation letter we'll give to you as what you are coming to do in London.
Okay.
And so we are responsible to make sure your safety and everything. However, there are people who comes and maybe our award scheme is done maybe in the first week after performance. Then the person may want to stay for additional 1 week to either go for sightseeing, do some visitations here and there, visit some girlfriends, some old.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so perform some doggy style rituals here and there. These are things that happens out.
Okay.
Out there. So apart from that one, there, permit my language, but it happens. People, get themselves excited with a lot of things in London. It's a cool city.
Yeah. So last year you went with hello. So last year, Doc, year you went with Mona For Real.
Yeah.
Okay. And we read the news of her arrest. Did you issue any formal statement when that happened?
We played a very critical role in making sure that at least anything that is required by us, my boss Alodia, played a very critical role in making sure that whatever that is required of us as organizers, we're able to fulfill. Because by the time the incident happened, she has finished all our stake of the work. She has exhausted the time of performance and everything. She's done with that, and she's there maybe having 1 or 2 moments before returning back to Ghana. That's after her performance with us.
So her arrest happened after the entire period, after the
awards is organized and she's coming back. You understand? So possibly, my boss Alodia played any key role in terms of communication with the High Commissioner, the Ghana High Commissioner.
Oh, okay.
Anything that they call upon us to do, we did it in the capacity of people who are organizing awards, and we're making sure that we do the right thing.
So are you apprised of any information regarding what has become of her now at this moment?
As I speak to you now, I don't have that any documentation before me to be able to give that one to you.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much, Kwesi Ernest. Now let me come to my good people and ask you if you have any advice, any solutions to any of the problems regarding the award schemes. You do that so that we leave. Everybody has 1 minute. Kwame Rasta.
I taking a cue from what Dr. Kwesi Ernest has just submitted, I can also vouch for the fact that he and his boss Alodia especially, they've been in this business for a very long time, and there's a science behind why they
still exist and do what they do, i.e. they are not a travel and tour agency. They do not issue visas. If life has happened to you and you want to flee from Ghana, there are other ways, other people. You can Google them and look for them. But these people, they don't do fraud. They don't do slave trade or migration. No. They are not the Foreign Affairs Ministry. Okay. Whilst we are at it, there are some good people, Uncle Ken fans who are sitting in Manfi, Kropong, Ekrapim right now.
They are listening.
Kwame Dadzie and Asha Return and those people near the ghettos, He has jet set fans.
Are they sipping on some palm wine?
Plus more, my brother. You don't want to know. So, but they've just prompted me that they've been listening to the Go With You and all that. So, big up yourself, Kwame Dadzie. And with regards to awards, Charlie, Chief Moment.
Okay.
Good luck.
Let me come to Uncle Ken then.
Uncle Ken. Time comes,
Uncle Ken.
Also, Chief Moment. Good luck.
Your final words, please.
Kwame.
Yeah.
I think that awards are good if they're genuine and meant for the right reasons. Nobody on this earth will shun any organization wanting to recognize their efforts are doing something that they normally do well. So we should encourage them, but they must be of genuine intent to award the people who deserve them.
Okay. Thank you, Uncle Ken. Robert Sklar, PRO VGMA.
Yeah, let me start by saying that a big thank you to Vodafone for holding us all these years. The truth is, it's getting money or sponsorship from corporate Ghana, and anybody who organizes any events would testify. It's never enough. All right, and that is the reason why you always have to look for money from elsewhere. So we have a major sponsor, but then again you realize that we are always here and they're trying to get other sponsorship to come through. Why? Because tickets are not enough. So many people are coming in for free, so you can't get enough from tickets. There were 2 years we did VGMA without anything tickets. That's the COVID years, and that should clearly tell you that when we did the 2 days, the amount of money that went in, it wasn't because of sponsorship. Every corporate organization that was sponsoring was suffering. So it's not necessarily about the money aspect, because we had to keep it running. We are a big organization, so obviously, yeah, you get some money coming here, you use that to support it. But the truth is, and let me also quickly mention, if you're thinking that votes that are coming inside are heavy and so you are making money, now that's a lie. Because at the end of the day, we have a free voting platform because we need people to be able to contribute their voice in helping us determine who the actual winners are, and that is why we've structured it that particular way. So I must say that, we are open. If anybody is listening and you want to associate with the VGMA platform, certainly do come through. And it is really a difficult thing to be able to run an event for these years. I think one of the big things we are looking for or should be discussing is that for amplification of impact within our space, we need some amount of support from government.
Sure.
All of these years we've been doing this, and without the support, Charlie, it's difficult to be able to amplify the effect. So that is really what we should be discussing.
Very important.
Tax rebates and all of these things. We have to enable the enablers so that we can create a bigger platform for everybody to benefit from, because I've already spoken about the value chain and the benefits that comes whenever we organize events, from people who are in the artisans to fashion designers to taxi drivers to hotel, everything, all of that. So I think we need to be able to understand that a scheme like VGMA certainly